So I've been battling with this Cadillac. Basically, I was driving it the other day, and I love driving this car. I mean, it's just giving me very little problems. But I went to pick up some batteries from the local interstate store, and when I came back, the car, when I was heading back, the car just died on me. And it turned out that this battery terminal over here, which I replaced, had corroded pretty badly. I was able to get a jump and then drive it back to the shop, and pretty much as soon as I turned into the road that goes to my shop, it died again, but I was able to coast it all the way into the front of my building. Obviously crimped on a new connector, put new terminal on there, but it wouldn't start. It would act really weird where it would basically want to start, but then as soon as you let off the key, it would basically just die out again. I wasn't sure what the issue was. I replaced the cap, so I got an MSD cap on there, replaced the rotor, but it wouldn't run. I thought maybe there was a problem. I blew the rotor up. So I jerry-rigged this wire over here. You can see this one from the positive terminal to the distributor, and I was able to get it running. It wasn't running great, but I was able to get it running. So I knew that the ignition system worked. It was just something at the key. Okay. So what I found, and somebody's been through this wiring, so it's kind of probably had 50 years of craziness going on. Let's see if I can crawl underneath here and show you. But basically, this wire was taped together and it had come loose. So I'm gonna basically fix it properly. I've got these little soldered connectors. They're basically waterproof. They've got a little bit of solder in there, so once you use a heat gun, it would basically seal it tight, and it would melt the solder in the middle, which will give it a good connection. And then I'll also apply this heat shrink as well to it, so it shouldn't give me any problems again after that. And I think that that's going to fix it. So right now what it would do is, if I crank the car, it would run and then it would die. It wouldn't maintain an idle. So let's see what it does once I fix this. Alright, so I've put that connector on there. It's on and it's pretty tight, so I'm just going to run the heat shrink over it and tidy it up, and then we'll start the car and see if it runs okay. Alright, and this is with the heat shrink. As you can see, I mean, there's a whole bunch of spliced wires, so this isn't really fixed, but it's fixed for now. I've got to go in there and clean it up at some point, because that's just an ugly mess. But let's see if it runs. Okay. Okay, so it's running. I was messing with the carburetor, so it may be running a little bit rich right now, but it's running. So I guess that's fixed. I'm just going to go back and readjust the carburetor, because I thought there was maybe a problem with I was messing around with all types of stuff. Anyway, there we go, fixed.